guys, Devin here with the High River Bassin. How's it going? Today what we're going to do is we're going to go over two spring baits that I absolutely love to have for not only just regular going out picking apart brush piles, but also bed fishing. So bed fishing will be coming up for me 3 weeks, maybe to a month, so it's quite a ways off still. But we'll go ahead and talk about it because some of you lucky Florida men are probably just now getting it. So first bait we're going to go over is we're going to go over a soft bait that I absolutely love having in the spring because it'll it'll imitate my second bait well, but you will be able to catch numbers on this bait. It happens to be a tube. This tube, it happens to be an old Driftwood Lures tube. It's a very, very good tube. I wish they still made them. I'm down to like 3 packs. It's a green pumpkin with a blue skirt or blue tentacles, if whatever you want to call it. But I will use natural colors in this. Green pumpkins, green pumpkin blues, green pumpkin. I'll dip some chartreuse. Another good tube is the Z-Man tube. It's fantastic, and the Berkley Power Bait tube. That's also a very good tube. But I like to use natural colors when I get dialed in. Now, when I'm first heading to the lake or I'm on a new lake or something I don't know much about, then I'll go to a straight white. Most of the time your lakes are going to have shad in them, and this is a very good shad presentation as well because you can pop your rod and make a real good shad imitation. Most of the time when you get on bed fish anyway, you're going to cast, put on the bed, cast on the bank if you can, put on the bed, drag it down and shake it. Very, very good shad imitation, but when I get real dialed in that clear water, I will go to natural colors. You'll find that you will catch more fish because, it's natural. You find more crawfish colored like a green pumpkin than you would a straight white. In the rig I like to use on it, keep it real simple. A 1/16 ounce weight to an 1/8 ounce. The reason why I don't use big weights is because I don't like to have it dart way down in front of them. If you have a situation where you have to cast on the bank, then it's not going to look, or in the water, it's not going to look real natural if you got like if they have a 1/2 ounce weight on and it's going right on there. They don't like that. So you want it to fall a little bit slow. You're also going to notice if you're using your bigger weights, it's going to create more splash. And I've had people tell me, well, bass get attracted to the splash, and that's false. Don't ever fall into that. The lighter weights, less splash, and then create a more natural, slow falling presentation. And when you get on the bed, you can shake it. So very, very easy. I like to peg it as well. I don't like not pegging my weight for this. The only times I will not peg my weight is if I'm just fishing rocks or something with a tube or a crawl worm, whatever, or if I'm fishing a big 10-inch worm out in big deep stuff. I don't. Other than that, I always peg it. And the hook, this happens to be a Trokar tube hook. This is a fantastic hook, guys. For tube fishing, you must have this hook. It's awesome. It's hard to do it on anything else. And for all you guys who want to know the rod and the reel, it's a Duckett Micro Magic 7-foot medium heavy, very simple rod, very sensitive rod, and an Abbey Garcia Revo S reel. Very, very simple. And 15-pound test. This happens to be Seaguar Red Label. Very, very good stuff. And it's very simple. It doesn't take much money to go out and find. You can find a $50 7-foot medium heavy. Find a good enough reel, and you're good. So, pack of tubes. Get yourself a Trokar worm hook, and you'll be good. And the next bait that I always love to have is something that you're going to catch giant fish on. You can catch 8-10 pound, a state record fish on this bait in the springtime, and that happens to be a jig. A jig is something that if I could only have one bait, I would absolutely have this bait because I can swim it, I can do all kinds of stuff with it. But in the springtime, you're going to create a big crawfish presentation. This jig happens to be a Thunder Lure jig. It's something my family makes. We've made them for years now, and they are fantastic jigs. And the only thing that I've changed to this jig is I've added a more lifelike skirt to it. This happens to be the all-new Z-Man football head or football jig skirts. I think they have them on their casting jigs too. I'm not for sure on that. Don't quote me on that. But this skirt happens to have rivets on it. It's kind of textured. And what that's going to do is it's going to add to the realism. It's not totally smooth, so when the fish picks it up, you'll be like, well, this is real. He's going to think it's more real than a regular smooth skirt would. Smooth skirts absolutely work incredible. They have more action than a skirt probably. But when the fish does pick it up, you will catch fish, or they will keep it most of the time with this bait. And the only sizes I really like in the spring for the shallow water bed fishing, you know, 0 or 1 foot to 10 foot kind of stuff. I only like 1/4 ounce and 3/8 ounce. I like 3/8 ounce. It creates a little bit bigger presentation, but a 1/4 ounce will work fine as well. Or 3/8 ounce when I'm in like 8 to 10 foot of water, because it'll get down there a little bit quicker. Sometimes you don't want that. Sometimes you want to use your 1/4 ounce. Colors I like black and blue. I like green pumpkin. That's kind of a standby for me. I will use, when I'm getting really detailed and on a good jig bite, I will use like brown and orange. Like cinnamon browns, black and red, and stuff like that. Just different stuff if I'm trying to create something different. You know, if everybody's throwing a black and blue jig and you throw a black and red jig, you know, you might just find the ticket right there. And again, a real simple rod and reel. I like this happens to be a 7-foot medium heavy Vendetta Abu Garcia Revo SX. I like the 7-1-1 because a lot of times I'll put the jig in heavier stuff than I would the tube. I put the tube in some pretty heavier stuff, but I like the 7-1-1 because I can get their head up and get them out. And 15-pound Reliable Seaguar. I don't know if I said that or not. Trailers I like on this. I like the Z-Man Batwings. I like the Z-Man Turbo Craws. Stuff like that. Don't have a trailer on it right now, but, you know, I obviously would if I was fishing it. And then I do have one more bait that I do use when doing this kind of stuff, and it happens to be a Z-Man Turbo Crawl. You know, the Z-Man Turbo Crawl is fantastic for a lot of things. You know, you can swim it in the summer. You can swim it now. You can swim it in general. You can put it on the back of a jig, cut it down a little bit, like I said. You can put it on a Carolina rig. You can do a lot of things with this. It's a good chatterbait trailer. But I like to Texas rig this because it's fantastic for sight fishing. You know, in the fall when our lakes got kind of blown out around here, I went to a farm pond actually, and I could see bass, and it was really cool. You know, because a lot of times we don't get that around here, that clear water, I should say. And I cast this little thing, and all I do is I just kind of slowly reel through the water, maybe give it a little shake, and they absolutely destroyed it. And this is actually the same bait that I was using when I did that. The same exact one. I mean, this was the one I caught the fish on. I caught 16 bass that day on the same exact lure. And if you find another company other than Strike Kings Elastec that can do that, then please tell me, because this Elastec stuff is real, guys. But I like this because also you're creating a crawfish presentation with your jig. If you're catching fish on a jig and all of a sudden, you know, you go maybe 2 hours without a bite on your jig, then throw a little crawfish bait in there. Throw something like this, the flapping hog type bait, a tube, something that'll imitate a crawfish, and it doesn't look very bulky, so they'll hit it before they hit a jig, but you're going to catch bigger fish on the jig. You will catch some big fish on this, but you'll catch your bigger fish on the jig. And yeah, guys, colors again, green pumpkin, black and blues, whites, if I'm fishing on beds, and then maybe an occasion watermelon for real clear water. But guys, this bait here is a ticket. I love it. And yeah, guys, it's basically the only if I could only have 3 baits for in the spring, then them are the ones I'd have, because you're going to catch a lot of fish on them. You know, they're good on beds. They're good. You know, you can fish a jig in deep water. You know, you'll catch a lot of big fish on them. A lot of tournaments are on doing that kind of stuff, especially around here. So yeah, guys, I hope this video helped you. Hope you guys are enjoying our channel. I'm trying to get it real involved, trying to help you guys a little bit. Maybe do some tournament coverage. You know, me and Hunter, he is also on this channel, both fish tournament trails avidly. We're avid tournament fishermen. And yeah, guys, so hopefully this video gets some likes. If it does, kind of rate and subscribe. And yeah, guys, stay tuned. We have more coming. Tight lines, and this is Devin with the High River Bassin signing out.